Yo, 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 what's up, y'all? It's your boy TP, Tory Plumber, T Plums, whatever you want to call me. Call me what you want, but you can't call me what? That was lame, but I'm still figuring it out, y'all.
Need to chat GPT that. The rest of that line.
But, anyways, back at y'all with an episode.
Race.
I ain't get to you, man. Hey.
I decided to beat you till I thought it went.
Nah.
Hey, man.
Back at
Kinda
y'all with
improvise.
another episode of I don't know, you feel me? And I don't know, we got my co host.
Reese.
There we go. Reese. Hey. Don't worry, stunting
Hey, brother.
Anyways, you already know. If you're new to the page, go ahead and like and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Share the joint. If you like the conversation, give us a like and all that good stuff. If you don't, too bad. But like it anyways. So today's topic of discussion. This actually came to me while I was giving my daughter a life lesson. I was being one of them dads at that. Not gonna remind me toy. But I was giving my daughter a lesson on life and stuff, and the one thing I was trying to teach her what discipline was. So before I give my definition of discipline and the Webster definition of discipline, what is your definition of discipline?
Keep it simple. Uh, what's the word? Consistency beyond motivation.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. So my definition of discipline that I gave her, and this is a saying that we have now, and I hope she remembered. But it's basically discipline is doing what you don't want to do because you have to in order to get better.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's very self-explanatory. It sounds confusing at first, but when you don't want to do something, but you want to get better at something, discipline is the outlet that keeps you working at it.
Right.
So we were working on some things because she's about to start first grade next week, and I want her to be prepared for school.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we was working on some things, and she started to feel like, you know what I'm saying, she'll get like antsy, and when you mess up, you be like, dang, and then you get frustrated when you mess up. So when she would feel that way, she would start to kind of tear up and start crying. I don't know about her mom. I don't know if that's something that she does to get her to stop, but that ain't gonna work with me.
Wow. You think it's like a failure thing with her?
It might be. It's either my hypothesis is that she doesn't like to fail. She's nervous, or in order to get you to stop, because she don't want to push at it. In order to get you to stop, she start crying to make you like not keep continuing.
Don't keep pushing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. You make it soften up. It's all right. We'll try later.
Exactly. So let's talk about discipline and why it's important. We can easily go through that conversation as musicians.
Yeah.
Because we're musicians,
Yeah.
and we wouldn't be where we at now without discipline to begin with.
I guess that's what we need to start there.
All right, let's go ahead. Go ahead, kick it off, man.
No, you kick it off.
No, you kick it
You
off.
got it. You go run it. I'm catching up.
All right. So I think a lot of cats when they're young, they don't need discipline, and that's when your motivate. That's when your what your definition came for, when you said like consistency beyond motivation. I think that's where it made a lot of sense, because when we was young, or I started at 15 playing drums. So when I was young, I didn't need discipline. Honestly, I didn't. I had all the motivation I needed.
Right.
I wanted to play. I had that passion and that desire to get better, and I had people around me that was killing, and I was like, I want to be able to do that.
Yeah.
So it wasn't, to me then, it wasn't discipline. As I started to get older and like starting to get responsibilities as an adult and all this other stuff, that's when discipline became.
That's what I was about to ask you. Like, at what point in your life where is it where you need more than motivation?
Yeah, when you have options.
Right.
When it's not a quote unquote necessity. That's when I need that.
Right. Or when it feel like work is not really
Yeah.
fun no more. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I definitely, and I'm sure every musician could agree that practicing at some point became not fun.
Yeah. And because you have to learn it different too. You got to
Yeah.
learn different after a certain point in your life. You can't. It's not gonna be as simple as just watching and hearing. You end up having to. For me, I'm a piano player, so you got to run all your scales,
Mm-hmm.
um, practice different comping styles, and then on top of that, you growing up, you deal with what's in front of you. As an adult, you see more that's out there,
Mm-hmm.
and there's so much to take in. It almost could be overwhelming.
For sure.
You know.
And that's another thing. Like discipline doesn't only. It's not only the action of doing something that you don't want to do. It's the action of doing what you don't want to do correctly.
Right.
So like practice, for example, like you mentioned scales. Like I don't care how good you are. When you practice, you should start with the basics.
Right.
First.
Right.
You should start with like as a drummer. I might start with my basic rudiments. I might start with a double stroke roll, single stroke roll, paradiddles, that
Right.
type of thing, because when you don't work at it, and I'm a prime example of this. I was in Cookman, I was in marching band drum line, I was a section leader in the drum line. My hands was crazy. And today,
You was at your hot spot.
my hands ain't so crazy no more.
You was at the hot spot, yeah.
And it's like the necessities are there for a reason. The fundamentals, that's why they're called fundamentals. They are
Right.
the building blocks. So like when we start taking shortcuts in whatever you doing, the main thing that keep the bread and steak, meat and potatoes, they start to fade when you neglect them,
Right.
and we start trying to take shortcuts. Oh,
Right.
I'm not gonna practice. I'm just gonna learn this song, and then we gonna play.
And that's the thing. Just learning songs is not practice.
Mm-hmm.
It's not practice. At the end of the day, you're gonna always when you just learn songs, you pretty much just find a new way to play what you already know.
Right.
So
Right.
it's not really benefiting you. But it was a guy said something, and they was talking about what, and I'm saying this in the form of a question. It was like, what is the best skill to have in life if you want to be successful?
The best skill to have in life, I would say, is adaptation.
Okay.
Being able to adapt because times have changed.
Okay.
Everything's gonna change. You got to be able to stay current and relevant.
Adapt. All right, and that comes with what?
Discipline.
All right, discipline. It also comes with being able to unlearn
Mm.
bad habits to pick up better and newer habits. So in that time, you're gonna always find yourself having to start over.
Mm-hmm.
When it's time to
Yeah.
adapt, you can't just approach things like you were where you were. You're gonna find yourself in that place where you got to go back, and it's gonna feel like you're back at the basics,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have to build back up.
And sometimes you might get a forced restart.
Right.
I remember this one of my favorite drummers of all time. His name's Calvin Rogers. He's been on just about everybody's record.
Right.
More than a few years ago, there was this incident that happened when he was, I guess, coming home from some whatever, and then he was beaten, robbed.
Oh yeah, I remember about that.
And they robbed him and they beat him up. They with a baseball bat, broke his arm.
That
and
was
everything.
crazy.
So with that, obviously he can't play drums for a long time with a
Right.
broken arm.
Oh, but when he came
But
back,
when he came back,
I watched the recording of
Yeah.
that dude.
that dude came
It's
back.
like you could feel
Exactly.
all that time that he left, whatever he had built up
Mhm.
inside of him, you could feel it. When they gave him
Exactly.
that solo. Oh man.
Yeah, exactly. And
Imagine how much training he had to do though,
I'm telling you.
just to bounce back.
And it's nothing more frustrating than not being able to do what you used to be able to do,
Right.
and knowing that you can't do it no more.
Right. Right.
There is nothing worse than like feeling like I ain't got it no more.
Yeah.
And the mental fortitude to get back to where you was and even better ain't nothing but like discipline. That's straight discipline.
It's discipline. But when you young, we be still living off when we was young. You
Mhm.
need the discipline. Because
Exactly.
it was just straight passion
Mm-hmm.
and
Passion and talent.
right. You know, we was thriving just off our talent.
Exactly.
You know, and or our gifts or whatnot. But that comes with a ceiling.
Exactly.
You know, so
And I noticed a lot of people when they come up, like, and I'm just saying this as a musician. I noticed a lot of people that was like prodigies when they was younger, right? They was like they was a 7-year-old that was really playing and stuff like that, and they started to get older and everybody started to catch up, and you not really a prodigy no more.
right,
They don't know how to act.
right,
They social skills or they social barometer of themselves is so jacked up.
right.
Like they come any type of way to performances or gigs or whatever, and then they don't sound the way that they
Nah,
think they
cause music done went on.
And then it's like you still stuck on that childlike moment where everybody was telling you how great you are.
Right.
Now people tell you tighten up, and you don't know how to take it.
You don't know how to take it. You don't know how to take it.
Yeah.
Say it was once a time when what you was doing was working. Nah, it ain't.
And the reason why they fell off is not only because you know what I'm saying, they just ain't good no more. It's just because they lack discipline.
Yeah.
And they lack to be able to you know what I'm saying, do what they don't
Right.
want to do.
Right. Right. I remember a guy. It was actually my cousin. I ain't gonna mention his name, but he was telling me I actually got a lot of. He was a jazz musician, and so I took a lot from him. Like he didn't teach me nothing, but it was one of the things where if I sit down and watch you long enough, I'm gonna grab something.
Mm-hmm.
And um, he seen me one day. It was like a year after I started playing. He was like, "You starting to sound too much like me." And he was like, "For now, change my playing." And something happened. He moved out of town, and he seen me like 7 years later, and he was still playing the one key. He was still playing the one key, and he was like, before we even touched the piano, he was like, "I'm pretty sure you better than me now, cause I don't practice." And I was like, "Why? Why?" And you know, he came up with his little excuses, but it all gonna go back to a lack of discipline. You know, now I'm not even sure he even plays, or if you know, he might try to find some kind of other way to have that outlet, but I haven't seen him nowhere doing anything. So
You know what's crazy? We got a mutual friend, and a lot of times we be having these long conversations. We be talking about junk, and he will mention how raw somebody is, or how raw somebody was growing up and stuff like that, and then I'd be like, what?
right.
When were they that?
Right.
And then I think some of them might be nostalgic because he will still say they're that, and I'm like, you can't be listening to the same stuff I'm listening to, and I'm like, there is no freaking way.
It can be a piece of that.
It has to be nostalgia because first of all, if this is the instrument you play, and I'm telling you, nah, bro, you have to be able to hear
you
it.
Better than
you better be able to know and hear that. That's not it,
man.
So I think some of it is nostalgia and the people around you or the people that grew up watching those people and seeing them that when they were that, and then it comes to now and they're like not that no more. New people coming around seeing like, what you talking about? You way better than that. You way better. What are you talking about? So I think I don't know how I got there.
Yeah. But back to discipline.
Back to discipline. Let's take this off of musicians talk real quick because everybody that watch ain't no musician. There's something that I've been seeing going on a long time, and I'm gonna preface this by saying, faith without works is what?
Yeah.
So no matter how much you believe into something, no matter how much you think you deserve something,
it ain't gonna fall in your lap.
Exactly, unless you put in the work.
Now I ain't saying it is no what's the word? Exceptions.
Right. Exceptions never disprove the rule.
Right.
They're exceptions.
You got to go. I mean, and that's one of the things, the issue, honestly, that I had with the type of church that I grew up in. And then kind of go along with what I perceive. One of the things that I perceived that was going on in that story you was telling about your daughter.
Mm-hmm.
He was, they had this thing, only what you do for God will last, and if you go and you try to pursue something and doesn't work or you fail, that means it wasn't God, you know. And then, so to me, it produced in me, along with the other people that I talked to, came from the same upbringing. Um, we don't have any belief in ourselves, you know. And believing in yourself don't mean that everything God got for you is gonna only come from you. You don't need to trust in God for anything, but it means that you also need to believe in your ability to bring to fruition whatever God put in you to do.
Yeah.
And the thing is failure is also a part of that process.
Right.
You know, um, and that's with anything. You're not gonna jump in any practice or anything being the best in the field. You're not gonna just do that. You know, it can be obvious that you might be a natural in something that you might be doing, but you're not gonna jump in being the best, and you're gonna have your weaknesses, and we're gonna call those failures. But consistency says I'm gonna keep digging that past the failures, and eventually I'm gonna end up being successful at it. You know, so faith that works today, that's a good one.
Right. So with that being said, there's something that goes on a lot these days. Um, I don't want to say that it's like female dominated, but I definitely see more women doing it than men. Huh?
You might listen.
Oh, but it's self affirmations and stuff like that. Like when you have like mantras per se, and I kind of think that the intent behind it is being skewed, and it's hurting more than helping
Okay.
these days. And why I say that is because like everybody says I'm gonna manifest this or I'm gonna speak this and whatever the case may be in my life and whatever, and they're not doing anything besides talking
Well,
about
shoot,
it
that go along what I just said.
to make it
You
happen.
thinking it's just gonna drop in your
Right.
lap just because you saying some junk.
And I think
Yeah.
that everybody's being told, oh, you deserve this. You need, like, oh yeah, you deserve to get what you want. You deserve to have. First, I wish people would stop saying that. You don't know what these people deserve.
Right.
Like you can't tell. You never met this person in your life to
Right.
tell them they deserve
Right.
a
Right.
good man,
Right.
a good dad. You don't shut up. Stop lying to people. So the fact is, I'm for real. Like that just be making me mad. Like stop telling people, strangers, they deserve this or they deserve.
Right.
Little do you know that little nigga deserved to be goddamn broke, bum, and had no
And, like, you
friends.
playing it, and I met a few of them guys chose to be out there like that.
Yeah.
You know, literally.
And it's like I feel like in our society it's doing more damage than good because we have this instant gratification society, and they feel like because they seen somebody else have something, but they ain't see the struggle process, they think that it's just that easy and they should get it now too. And all this like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't saying you not supposed to encourage yourself. I'm not saying you're not supposed to, you know, try to have mantras and beliefs and stuff, but you gotta apply.
You gotta hustle.
You gotta apply work to that.
Yeah.
It just don't happen, and I feel like people are just really,
Right.
really doing themselves a discredit. And I see it. Like I said, this ain't. I love you, ladies. I love you, ladies.
I love the ladies.
This ain't a knock on y'all, but it is at the same time. Like saying junk and actually getting junk is not the same thing. Y'all have to stop with this. I deserve this, or I'm gonna do this just cause blah. What? No, it ain't gonna happen.
Right.
You gotta put work into it. If you
Right.
want that man that you want, you have to be what he wants.
That's
So
right.
you have to put
right. You gotta put in work.
You gotta put in
gotta
work on yourself. You just being fine is not enough.
Cause that's gonna fade.
Yeah, and the more you tell us that you deserve it, the more we don't believe you.
Right. You deserve it just cause you woke up this morning. That's it.
You woke up fine, and now you deserve a billionaire because you deserve it.
Yeah.
You woke up 700 pounds, but you think you finna get Idris Elba. Like, what are you talking about? It's not. It don't work like that. Y'all gotta start being realistic, and stop trying to down other people for being average.
Yeah.
Average is not bad. Below average is bad. So it's not offensive to be an average person.
We say hey, somebody got to be there. Though.
Exactly.
Somebody got to be
the
there.
majority are average.
Right.
That's where the average comes from. You remember in math class when you learned if you got 100 and you got 50, guess what the average is? 75.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, stop trying to make average into a bad thing. Everybody thinks they're above average. If everybody was above average, then there wouldn't be average.
It's funny that you brought up the looks, but I was telling my daughter that one time. She, I said, if you really want to be truthful, I said, if you don't put no energy into how you look, anything, if none of us did, we'll all be ugly.
They be like, you ain't ugly, you just broke.
Like,
you see Glorilla?
Oh,
she was ugly.
Yeah,
she was ugly. Oh,
yeah.
I forget we were recording sometimes. I forgot this ain't a regular conversation. That girl got some money.
You see?
Hey, whatever. I don't care. She got some money. She got her teeth fixed. She got her body done. I mean, some of it look fake, but some is OD.
Like,
but at the same time,
man, can you imagine? Like, you think you look good?
Yeah.
All right, take the dreads out your head and no haircut. Let that junk grow. How you take yourself there?
I ain't gonna lie, I'm an exception to that.
Whatever.
a TP exception.
And I already know because I'm losing hair. I already know I'm going a little crazy.
I dare, hey.
Okay.
I dare you on air to grow your hairline out and tape it up.
You can't do that before you gotta fulfill the other part of the deal first. You gotta fulfill the other part of the deal first. Since we put it out there, the church name is nah, but you gotta fulfill that other part of the deal before I do some junk like that. Nah, that ain't even a part of the deal. That's gonna be live anyway.
We trying to go viral.
Oh, you got to go viral first.
We need
that.
We need
Hey, dude, I gotta walk around all day like my part of the deal is gonna be worse than yours.
Hey, editor, put in that picture of Shaq when he got his tape lined up. we gonna see if they twins or not.
Man, boy, yeah, my junk gonna be looking messed up. Woo.
But yeah, man,
I'm gonna do it big though when I do it. If I ever have to do it,
my God,
that thing gonna be looking clean.
Hey, listen. If you haven't seen me die laughing yet, that'll be the day.
That thing will be looking clean. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna get some enhancement.
Oh my! Woo! You better hope you ain't got the ball spot too. Oh boy, it's over with. Oh man, that'll be the funniest day ever.
Oh man!
But listen, back to the topic at hand. What you got to say? Let's get Thad's take on this.
Thad, what you think about?
So, I would say purpose. I would say knowing your purpose can help motivate you, and during that motivation, you can build a discipline knowing why you're doing something. I think that's all. All those things play into each other.
So you saying you can't have discipline without motivation?
Well, he said without purpose.
I heard he said your purpose gonna give you motivation.
I got you.
But we think discipline is void of motivation.
It should be.
Yes.
You definitely, yeah.
It should be doing the things you don't want to do.
Right.
You have to push yourself in. For some people, it become hard because you get to a point where you never reached this point before, and you don't know why am I doing this. You know what I'm saying? So it's different if you know I have to do this to feed my family. I have to do this to uplift the name of my family, to be someone for my family. It's more. I think it's more easier to be motivated and easier to be disciplined to something because you know the goal, you know what you have and plan, and not knowing and just living.
That's the thing, though. I don't think discipline is ever easy.
No.
That's why it's discipline.
No, it's not.
So, but it come to find out we all dumb.
What you talking about?
The definition of discipline. I'm gonna give you the multiple ones because you know they got it. They say dictionary.
Hold on. You look up that one. I'm gonna look up one too. Go ahead.
All right, so let's say discipline, a noun, the practice of training people to obey rules or a code of behavior using punishment to correct disobedience. Another, which is discipline, is which is a discipline, which is a branch of knowledge typically one studied in higher education. Okay, here's a good one. Um, train oneself to do something in a controlled and habitual way. Uh, Middle English in the sense mortification by scourging oneself. I don't know what the heck that means, but okay. Um, yeah. Okay. This is the AI overview.
That's the AI.
This discipline at its core means training oneself or others to obey rules or a code of behavior, often involving self-control and development of good habits. It's not solely about punishment, but rather systematic approach to learning and improving through instruction and in practice. Ultimately, discipline enables individuals to achieve goals, manage their lives effectively, and cultivate positive personal qualities.
That's it.
So discipline, what we all could agree on is that discipline is to improve yourself or to get better at something. That's the objective of discipline, right?
See that again?
We can all agree that discipline is like the objective of discipline is to improve something.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So you got yours. I know you got your Android. I know it's a little slow.
Nah, it's saying the same thing.
I know it ain't kicking out on all cylinders like the iPhone is.
It's putting out the same thing. I was looking up the verb. I know you mentioned the noun.
Okay. But yeah, I think we all understand when someone says you need discipline to you know what I'm saying, to whatever you want to do. I think we all can understand that it's something beyond um something beyond
So
easy.
so here's something I just thought about. Should another way of saying discipline is like um, it's something that got to be put in you. You know, the all that we was talking about. It seemed like it's something um, that you're doing to train somebody. So typically, what I know what they used to ask is what is your discipline? You know, they used to ask questions like that. You know, so um, maybe that's a piece of what we need. You know, we talk. I mean, I guess of course all the videos that we have was talking about lack of fatherhood and all this other kind of stuff. All that we see and all that we've been discussing is because of lack of discipline. You know, and I ain't gonna say it's going back to a father not being there. I'm just saying it's just when you look at what maybe you was dealing with your daughter, when I was dealing with my son, or what we deal with within ourselves, we have to go back to the training set stage, you know, and that's gonna have to become our discipline, you know, in a sense,
Mm.
you know. That's
So what are some things you doing? Like, I know some of these things because I think you're crazy. But what are some of the things you do in
me.
life to like you like as discipline, like not disciplining others, but as far as yourself to get what you want out of life, like fitness, practicing that type of thing.
Look, first, and I pay attention to my health first. Health is wealth. That's the first thing I do. Well, I'm not gonna say that that's the absolute no. First, I pay attention to my spirituality, um, and then I focus on me, health wise, diet, um, being consistent with working out. Um, Everything everybody assumes that's, we talk about that's what is called being healthy. Um, then after that, I got family, education, knowledge, Um, and then work. You know, I make sure I'm a musician by trade, and so I make sure that I take care of that. I'm gonna tell you what my practice used to be. I used to do 8 hour practice, and so I I used to practice like scales, arpeggio chords. I used to do these handing exercises and all of that. I used to just go back and forth with that kind of stuff for probably 2 or 3 hours, and then I'd take a little break and I'll come back. I would learn. I would transcribe like a difficult song, and then that would be another 2 or 3 hours, and then my last few hours, I'm probably focusing on stuff that I have to do for a gig, and trying to add in some stuff in for a show. Uh, I go into. I also learn different instruments, produce music, so that's another part of it. Then my kids come and they suck up the rest of my energy. They suck up the rest of my energy, but um, I make sure I make up my bed in the morning. I make sure I pay attention to my household uh, deeds and everything. So I try to make sure I'm not neglecting anything.
So I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I know I be tough on everything else, but I be lacking discipline in a lot of goddamn things.
Well,
Um,
I'm gonna let you speak. I ain't gonna beat you up on camera. Go ahead.
I don't make up my bed when I wake up. Okay? I don't well, I brush my teeth in the morning.
Nah, you don't.
Yes, I do. Nah, I tried to do the whole morning workout things, and it feel good. Like when you do it, the problem is just doing it. Like it's certain things that it's really hard for me to control myself on. I impulse buy. I cannot I cannot deny it. I be impulse buying crap, and I be like, after getting it, I be like, dang, I ain't need that, but I ain't gonna return it either.
Right.
so,
right.
so I know I can be better at practicing more. Um, sometimes I take the shortcut. Sometimes I be like, man, let me just learn this goddamn song and then we'll get through it and whatever. I'm victim of that too, or not victim. I perpetrate that sometimes. So that's the wrong word.
Yeah.
I do that.
But keep going. We know what you're talking about.
Y'all know what I mean, god dang it. So, but what I can say I am disciplined at is paying my bills. I make sure my home is taken care of first.
Right.
I take care of my fatherly responsibilities.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, it is like a give and take. We do pick and choose what we decide to remain disciplined about. But like I said, that's where discipline really comes into place when you have options, when you have things to do, and you have life going on to sit there and still make that time or effort for things that you claim you want to be better at.
Right.
It takes a lot of discipline. And Thad, I know you fight. tell us about that. Making weight. Tell us about what I'm saying, doing your trainings and stuff like that. Let us come take my seat real quick.
Yo. Discipline. I would say when I first started training the jiu-jitsu, I was very motivated because I had a purpose in mind. My goal was to win gold in the tournament. So for 4 or 5 months, it was in the gym 6 days a week because I knew what I wanted. But I think a lot of people lose that discipline over a certain amount of time just with bad habits. I think if you create good habits, it's more easier to be disciplined.
Right.
Because there's less stuff to weave out. But I think a lot of people lack in fluctuating, being consistent.
Right.
Is because of bad habits. That's what I think.
Right.
The bad habits. Not saying good habits. Instead of like you say, waking up every morning, making up your bed.
That's a habit.
It's a step in the right direction because when you get home, most times 10, if you don't make up your bed, if you got some clothes on before you ain't gonna pick it up.
Right.
So I think it boils down to having good habits.
Right.
Good habits.
Good habits. What's some bad habits you think you had, during your training?
Bad eating.
That's a big one.
Overtraining.
Overtraining.
Gotta know when to stop.
Okay.
I was real hungry and caused a back injury because I was just overtraining. I felt like I needed to train more than this person that I don't know, but I can't say you work harder than me because I know how much harder I work.
Right.
I know I put in 6 days a week.
Right.
Every week, 2 hours a day, no matter what time it is, 10, 11 at night.
Right.
So overtraining is something you gotta watch out for.
That's a part of discipline too. Over disciplining, you gotta discipline yourself from discipline.
Right.
Oh no,
Discipline yourself and discipline yourself.
Oh no, it's definitely a limit you gotta be careful of. Definitely.
Which camera's on you right now?
It's definitely a limit you gotta be careful of though.
Yeah.
So the biggest problem I have now is reaching it go back to what y'all was talking about earlier, like kid prodigy. I wouldn't consider myself a prodigy, but reaching a high level and you knowing what it takes to get to that high level, and now at the point where you at where it's like, man, I have to get back to that place.
Right.
I think it can take a big mental toll on you because only thing you think about, man, I was here,
right,
and now I'm here, but you gotta also think about what's the step I can take each and every day to get back.
Right.
To where
and it's a little different because like I tell you, I used to box.
Yeah.
But I was in a different mental space.
Yeah.
I was in a different mental space. I don't know how it was for you. I know it now. I don't know much about stuff, but I know now you starting to become a preacher.
Yeah.
You
things
starting
different now.
yeah, things a little different. So you're gonna have to pull from something else.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Definitely less of myself.
Yeah.
Definitely less of myself. Definitely less of myself.
You like.
You gotta talk it to my kid.
I would say definitely less of myself. It's only so much you can do. It's only so much strength that you have. Not saying that you are weak or not saying that you can't do unimaginable things, but it becomes a point where you do have to pull from God to believe in Him and get that strength to keep pushing. Like I know from my experience, I never would have imagined to accomplish the things that I did or push my body to the levels that I pushed it to. And it was at a point I was like, Lord, this is what I want, and I want to make sure I'm doing everything I possibly can do it. If you provide opportunity, I would do my best, and everything played out into my hands. I won gold my first tournament. I trained my behind off, and it was an amazing feeling to achieve something that you put the work in and you was willing and able to do the necessary steps.
All right. Time's up.
I do it.
Time's up. Get out of here.
You get real emotional, motivated.
It's just about to
Nah, if there's one thing I took from what that was saying just now, the one thing that I took from that, I heard everything he said. He said some good stuff. But the one thing I realized, I'm not politically correct. He's a politically correct guy. Cause he said sometimes, sometimes you need to take some strength, or you can't do it all. Not to say that you can't do unimaginable things. See, you ain't gotta put that disclaimer there. You ain't sometimes he ain't got it, man. He always gotta put that disclaimer. That's that political correctness jump. I ain't got it. So y'all gonna hate me or love me, but I ain't got it. I'm sorry. That's the one thing I took from that conversation. I don't know what the heck you talking about, some gold medals and nothing. You wanna fight me? You wanna fight me?
Gotta back it up like you did last time.
No, I'm just playing. I'm just messing around. But no, that's good. That's good though. So as we approach our closing time, Bishop Reese, you got anything to close? You got anything to leave us out with?
Nah.
I thought this nigga was gonna say something deep and something sound important. And say, nah. Hey man, try it. Let's try this again. As we approach our closing, for this episode,
whatever.
Big dog, you got anything to close us out with today?
Stay disciplined.
All right,
We'll keep it real simple.
Got you. Just stay disciplined. I'll say it then. Stop being a lazy bum. Make sure this camera on me. Make sure this on me. Stop being which one is it? This one? Stop being a lazy bum. Stop saying stuff you don't mean. Say what you mean and mean what you say. If you gonna say you gonna do it, do it. If you can't do it, don't say it. And I'm talking to me too about certain things. But have some goddamn discipline. Have some mental fortitude. You know what I'm saying? Have some testicular fortitude, fellas. Yeah. Have all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I learned a new one today, intestinal fortitude. I ain't never heard that one before. But that means something inside you. You know what I'm saying? Something inside you just real strong and won't let you be a little punk. So all of y'all, nah, for real. Ladies, you know what I'm saying? We love you. We appreciate y'all soft words and stuff like that. But sometimes we gotta put some. Damn, I look kind of swollen this camera right here.
It's just a camera.
Nah, that's
the camera.
Hey, stop playing with you. Anyways, yeah, ladies, we love the encouraging words. We love the build up and stuff. But sometimes you gotta put something behind it. You gotta put something behind it, because if it becomes all talk, you become the boy who cried wolf, and we don't want that. So everybody, this is the end of our episode. This is the end of the discipline episode. I don't know. You feel me? So, hey, like it, love it, hate it, can't stand it, can't live without it. It is what it is. Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? We gonna see y'all the next time. As for when that is, I don't know. But, all right, y'all, peace.